My name is Bob Bazinet, and I joined Toastmasters a few years ago thanks to my guest, Nancy Knoth. She is also a good friend of mine. Nancy shared some of her work and educational background with me when I joined. Nancy received her bachelor's degree in communications at Metropolitan State and later joined Park Nicollet to start her career as an optician, later as a buyer. And after many years of loyal service to Park Nicollet, she is now retired. Early in her career, she experienced some challenges in moving forward with her career. If it had not been for the help of a corporate manager that served as her mentor, she probably would have been a little bit stalled in her career. Nancy, please share what that mentor-mentee relationship is like.
Mentor mentee relationship is really pretty mutual. One of the things that I found out really quickly was that I was going to learn a lot from this experience and that I didn't have to be perfect. I just had to be friendly with the person and listen to them and learn what they're looking for too.
I suppose having to be in the same career path or sharing some common interests is important to that relationship. Someone that you could trust to help you along. How did you overcome your doubts and begin the mentor-mentee process at work?
I decided I wanted to finish my degree. And one of the classes I took, I had a project where I had a proposal of something I thought our company should do. And I was supposed to send it to a VP in the company. I chose the only woman in the company and sent it to her. And she proofread my proposal and helped me try to figure out how to get it done. It was a way to save the company some money. One of the first things she said was when I wrote my proposal was I had said they. And she said to me, you're a part of this company too. You should be saying the name of the company. And that was after that, she reviewed a lot of different papers for me and we became friends. And so I think that was a big help to me because she had succeeded. It was interesting because she was quite a bit younger than me. So age doesn't always say who is going to be the best mentor for you. And also, then I joined Toastmasters. So I had some mentors there. So those are some of the ways that I got mentored in the beginning.
I can only imagine how pleased you must have felt learning from the experiences that you had with this vice president and also with Toastmasters. So, what did you learn about yourself?
Learned how to control an interview process that I had to go through. I had a supervisor who used to give me 3 to 4 hour reviews at the end of each year. I wanted to try to figure out how to get him down to an hour at the most. The things I learned in Toastmaster, how to phrase things, how to talk quickly, how to move him along, really helped. Actually did get him down to 1 hour interviews, which was really great. I learned to talk at our monthly meeting. I had to talk in front of the whole group of 40 people once a month for half an hour and tell them what was going on new in the company, how they should merchandise the product, what I had bought. And in the beginning, they were pretty gruesome for all of us. By the time I ended, I'd learned to make them fun and more interactive with the people. That's the other thing that I learned is that I was actually, even though I was in sales, I was actually very shy. I didn't realize that. Toastmasters taught me how to come out of that shyness and how to be able to talk ingeniously. Was a great salesperson. I was top salesperson for almost 5 years in my company every month. But that is different because I had a product that I had to sell. I'm interacting with people. Interacting is way different than selling.
So, what surprised you or your mentor the most about some of these experiences, whether they were good or bad?
What surprised me the most is that I learned so much from each of the experiences. At one point, I was an area governor. One time I went to a club, arrived half an hour early, two of the members fighting in the hallway, just yelling at each other. What am I going to do? I have to go into this meeting. And then I observed the meeting. From that experience, I learned that I had a lot more knowledge than I thought I did. One of my interpretation is that the club had gotten too small. They had tried and tried to combine with other clubs or to get more members, and they weren't able to. I gave them some wisdom about other clubs that were looking for members. I talked about how often they had been doing the same jobs. There was down to 4 or 5 members, and they weren't able to recruit. About 3 or 4 months later, they can join to another club, and they had a really good club that they joined, and those 4 or 5 members were no longer fighting with each other. This experience at first made me feel bad. It made me feel like I was a bad area governor, that I couldn't give them solutions to solve their problems. But in the long run, I realized I actually did give them a solution. It wasn't my first choice, for them to dissolve and join, but sometimes situations are like that.
Nancy, so you've been a Toastmaster for several years now, and you must realize the value of continuing to grow personally and helping others grow. What do you look for or ask for today to keep improving or growing?
Well, first thing is to stay active, stay alert. Being in Toastmasters, thinking about during the pandemic, how I knew nothing about Zoom. And by the time I was done, that I know so much about Zoom. I was at a meeting recently and someone said, how do you do something on Zoom? And I just went over there and did it for them and showed them. You have to keep trying and keep experiencing new things and volunteering. I was a mentor for a club. It was a corporate club. I had been trying to be a mentor because it was part of my process to become a distinguished Toastmaster. And the one club they called me about, they said I could be a mentor. And before I got to the first meeting, they dissolved. So then I called up and I said, give me another club. I'd been waiting 5 years to mentor a club. And they had a club and it was 40 minutes from my house. I said, oh, I'm doing it. I can't tell you how much I learned from that experience. One of the things I learned is not to just give all your information to one person. It was a corporate club, so they had been letting people do stuff on work time. There was a secretary who just took everything over. Once the club got started, the company said, no more can you do this on work time. And she left the club. And there I was. I had no one who knew all this information I had given her. So this was one of those learning experiences for me. Another thing I learned is that I was the mentor. I was the Toastmaster representative there. And if I had to do it over again, the person who had started the club was the VP of the company. She came to our meetings and she was tired. She wanted to spend her lunch hour sitting down. When people got up to speak or moved to the front of the room, she told them they didn't have to do that. They could just stay where they were and stay in their chairs. Most of the people in this meeting needed to learn to stand up and be in front of a group. They needed to be in charge. And I needed to be more forceful. When I tried to be this with this vice president, I came across as being overbearing. What I learned is I wasn't overbearing. I was just doing my job. There is a difference between being overbearing and so basically what I'm trying to say here is your gut feelings are usually right. When I told her, no, this isn't right, I shouldn't have beat myself up about it because she got angry about it and thought, oh, I could have done it in a different way. Sometimes people being a mentor or mentee aren't going to be that happy with you. Sometimes it works out great. I have someone I'm being a mentor for right now. She's the new Toastmaster that you always wish we could all be like. We all hope that in the future we can be more positive and trust ourselves. I guess that's what I really
Trust your
learned,
instincts,
trust myself.
your experiences, and of course, being a member of Toastmasters and as a area governor, that's important that you kind of toe the line there and do what's right, as opposed to fearing a conflict or fearing that this person here is going to be intimidating because of her position in the company. Well, Nancy, thank you so much for sharing your experiences and knowledge about the mentor-mentee relationship with me today. I'm sure your experiences can benefit us all.
Thank you for asking me to be here.